Nearly 24 countries had formally applied to join the BRICS bloc, which represents a quarter of the global economy and more than 3 billion people. But only 6 nations made the cut. Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates will join as members in January. The move to add these countries is seen as critical and a move to push for the collection of emerging economies to evolve into a significant counterweight to Western global dominance.
If you say you are not happy with the dominance of one part of the world in terms of global financial and economic governance, you go with these countries, set up some form of institutionalization within BRICS, so formalize the grouping, discuss amongst yourselves through committees so that when you go to, let's say, a World Bank has its own governance structure. You've got your, I think it's board of directors and then executive directors. Those countries in BRICS can go and set up motions to say we need more representation in terms of more BRICS countries being part of the board of directors. We need to see more executive directors within the World Bank, because those are the decision makers within the World Bank that sort of decide how much money is dispersed and on what terms. So with numbers, you can influence change.
This is the first BRICS Summit to be hosted in person since the COVID-19 pandemic and the global travel restrictions. About 50 heads of state and governments attended this gathering. The Johannesburg II Declaration, which reflects key BRICS messages on matters of global, economic, financial and political importance, was formally adopted here.
This has been a quite success. You also would notice the manner in which other heads of state have respected this summit. They've taken it serious, all of them, and we want to thank that partnership.
BRICS is establishing itself as the platform for the design of the new world order, I think, in a more multipolar world. And I think we could sense it here. I'm especially very proud that it happened, the expansion and everything happened in Africa. It was announced by Africa.
The summit also marked the 10th anniversary of the establishment of the BRICS Business Council. The council was set up to promote and strengthen business, trade and investment ties amongst the business communities of the 5 BRICS countries. South Africa's security cluster has also expressed satisfaction at how things panned out in terms of securing all guests.
We have used our experience that we have for other big events, your 2010 World Cup and all that. I must say, without blowing our own horns on the matter, the feedback has been good so far.
This summit attracted hundreds of media personnel from around the world. The South African International Relations Department approved just over 1,300 media practitioners to access the summit. The media center was constantly abuzz with activity as all media personnel chased the deadline to ensure that their respective audiences received the news from here timelessly. Yolisa Njamela for CGTN at the Sandton Convention Center in Johannesburg, South Africa.